Good evening, everyone. My name is Michael Hussey, and this is my introduction video to EDL 951. So a little bit about me. I'm a retired Marine, 26 years. While I was in, I knew that I wanted to be a school teacher when I was going to retire. I spent a lot of time helping out athletic teams for the local schools that my son played on and my daughter played on. And I knew it was interesting me, and I knew something I would want to do when I retired, so I did. I automatically got into the Marine Corps JOTC program in Virginia. And when my wife decided to retire from the Navy, we decided to move to Florida. I became a Navy JOTC instructor down here. A good thing about it is we don't just teach Navy specific stuff or military specific stuff. We're also a dual enrollment program where we teach 4 college classes through Embry-Riddle University, which myself and my counterpart are now adjunct professors for Embry-Riddle University, which is kind of cool. Some things I like to do for hobbies is I enjoy working out, reading, and we love playing with our dogs. A little bit about my family. Married to my wonderful wife, Angela, who's a retired senior chief in the Navy. She did 23 years. Daughter, Haley, she works at a preschool. She went to Western Kentucky University where she got her early childhood development degree. My son, who's currently in Army boot camp for the National Guard, he goes to Campbellsville University up in Kentucky and he plays football where he's a wide receiver. We have a 1-year-old granddaughter named Brooklyn, and you can see the picture of her right there. Critical reflection. So a little bit about my administration. The school district, the superintendent, he has an open door policy. He's a hands-on leader. He loves hearing what teachers have to say. He loves getting out and about, talking to students, talking to educators, talking to school administration. He really wants to know what's going on, and he wants to have the pulse of the schools so he knows how to better serve them. He, when he was a principal, he was a get out guy. They called him man about campus, man about town. He was always out. He was in the classrooms. He was checking stuff out, and that's how he is as a superintendent now. For our district, they have strong community support, and they have a great relationship with the community. The schools do a lot with the community. They're the face of the community. Our program specifically, Navy JOTC, we do a lot with the community. There's a lot of organizations locally, veteran organizations. We have a program that Tim Tebow Foundation funds that we support. We're a small community, and we're very active in the community. We do a lot of events with them. So it's a give and take relationship, and we enjoy it. Security measures for our school. Being part of the security team for the school, they're looking to do a lot of improvements for it because we are one of the few open campuses still around. Everything's outdoors. When kids transition from classes, it's outside. There is no internal classrooms. So it's a bit of a unique situation security-wise because there's no fencing around the campus, and they're really trying to do a lot to improve the security for our campus and for our kids. So they've been doing a lot of surveys, security surveys. They've had multiple organizations out looking at our campus, and they're coming up with a plan to improve security, which is great. Professional development. The school district is doing a lot to change professional development. When I first got on board, new teacher training, which was about 3 days, was mandatory, and it was ran by the district itself. And most of the professional development people that were doing the teaching were elementary school teachers. They had never left the elementary school classroom. They go from the 3rd grade classroom for 10, 15 years to doing professional development. And a lot of the complaints were that it was most of the techniques that they were teaching were geared towards young kids. And a lot of the teachers that were coming on board were secondary school teachers. So you had high school teachers sitting through classroom management being taught by some elementary school teachers, and we really didn't think the techniques that they were teaching us would work in our classrooms. So one of the recommendations was let's bring it back to the schools, have the administration and other seasoned teachers teach the professional development, and let it be that way. There'd be mandatory district stuff. However, it's being taught by our school, our administrators, and our seasoned teachers from the secondary schools. Now, we still do professional development that is subject specific, and you'll have, elementary, middle, and secondary school teachers in that PD. But when it comes to certain topics, it's driven by the school, not by the district itself, which I think is great. For myself personally, I know I'm very young in the education field, but I do have a lot of leadership experience, and because of that, I think it bodes me well in the classroom and in the education system itself. A lot of techniques that I use in the military, I could still use on students, and a lot of my mentorship skills that I use in the military, I can use on other teachers. It's not always abrasive like a lot of people think. They think when they see a uniform or hear that I was in the military, automatically think I'm a yeller, a screamer, and that's all I'm going to do. But I do know how to work with people. I've worked with a very diverse population in the military, and it definitely has transitioned me well into the classroom. So because of that, it makes me an asset. Even the principal will come by sometimes and talk to me and my coworker and ask us advice on certain things because he knows that we have experienced a lot of different situations in the military dealing with young people. A lot of my time was dealing with young 19, 18-year-old, for the most part, kids that were in the military, and it definitely transitioned me well into the classroom. My plan to improve my current knowledge and experiences. So I just completed my master's degree in education, which helps. I'm working on my education specialist in education leadership, and I'm going to continue to seek out leadership opportunities inside the building and also within the district, whatever one comes available. And I do believe in being a lifelong learner. I think the more you can do, the better yourself, the better you're going to do your people and your students. So those are my goals. So with that, I'm going to say goodbye. Thank you for listening. I look forward to learning from all of you. I've seen a lot of experience out there, and I look forward to learning a lot from you guys. Have a good night.